Streaming. Okay, let's see what's coming up here. Alrighty. Just gotta quickly popularize this. Shit. Live. Oh, shit. Didn't go live properly. Okay. I don't know if it did go live properly. It looks like it did. Okay. Just pause that. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Okay, there we go. Are folks in? Please let me know if and when folks are in the chat here. I'm just going to slide this a little bit more this way. Okay. Are we live? Can't tell. Oh, it looks like people are there. Okay, so it looks like it's my chat window is not coming up the way it should. Hold on a moment. Okay, just gonna pop this over here. Just gonna quickly adjust my chat window. Ah, there's the issue. Oh, come on. Okay. There we go. Fix on the fly here. Ah, there we go. It looks like it's all coming in, and it looks like folks are showing up. You know what that means? Let's hit the intro. Hi, everybody. All right, welcome on board. I know I was supposed to do this here last week in terms of bandwidth, but again, it's what happens when you get a splitting headache midway through, and sometimes things have to be changed and schedules get a little bit revised. All right. Also need to make sure I readjust that video that opens up, because again, it's a good intro, but I feel like it's like there's something off with the video settings that makes it really slow down everything on my end. I think it's just a little, maybe too high quality or something. Something's off with the encoding. I need to figure it out. How is everyone doing tonight? And again, we'll have a little bit of time for some questions as we get things started. Again, this is specifically, it's going to be pretty chill. From what I can tell, it's probably going to be a bit of a shorter episode. And on that note, I do have a hard stop at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I have something else going on this evening. So regardless of where things are, it is going to stop then. Alrighty. Opeth review doing good. Oh, yeah, the Opeth review is... I'm expecting backlash for that. I'm expecting there's going to be some metal fans who are going to see that review and probably not take it all that well. And not for nothing, I kind of get it. There's a lot of folks who really want to like that album. Hell, I want to really like that album. It's just not as good as it should be. I'm going to turn down some of the lights. It's bright. That makes me even more overexposed. What is it all? I'll keep this for now. Let me turn my front light a little higher. Hang on. Yeah, I think we're good for now. All right. What do you think of Kendrick Lamar and SZA going on tour together? Kind of obvious. They've got, what, 4 or 5 songs together? This is the sort of thing that is a very obvious collab tour. It'll do well for them. It also once again reasserts that the connection between SZA and Kendrick Lamar has never been like frayed in any way. I know that a lot of people try to make a thing out of Kendrick's separation from TDE, that they're maybe not so close, and then Ab-Soul showed up on Might Delete later, and yeah, like, there could be something there, but in all due honesty, like seeing them working together, that's fine, no issue. Also gives me indication that we're probably going to get a SZA album soon if Lana actually comes out in the next couple of months. That'd be cool. Um, Alrighty, let's keep going here. Any snowfall yet in Toronto? A little bit, not much. Nothing that's stuck. I think that we've probably managed to dodge a lot of it due to the lake effect. I've seen what's come down in Buffalo though, and whoo, wow, that's fun. Do you think the Drake versus UMG cases will make it to trial? Oh God, no. That's getting settled out of court. If so, do you think how it will impact the industry? Actually, I'm gonna take my headphones off because I want to fully hear myself when I speak on this because this is actually going to be a pretty interesting case because I've seen a lot of discussion and debate around it, and I don't think a lot of it's very good. For one, I think it's never going to get to trial. I don't even think it gets to discovery. This is the sort of thing that gets settled out of court very quickly because I get the impression that Drake wants a quick settlement or he wants out of his deal or a certain amount of freedom, excuse me, within his deal with UMG. I think he previously underestimated how much Kendrick's attacks on him damaged his brand, but now that he's fully internalized that, he's now trying to assess, okay, what can I do? How can I get back on top as it is? The problem is that Drake has burned so much of his cultural cachet and so many relationships around the industry, just in terms of all the women that he's screwed or everyone's girlfriend that he's screwed, alongside a lot of relationships of albums that didn't happen, or trying to collaborate and hop on with the kids, and some of those projects never really panned out. And at this point, I don't think he has the leverage that he thinks he does. You see a lot of older hip hop commentators like, well, it's Drake. You have to be able to go into the room and give him all the money in the world. And I'm sitting there with UMG and I'm like, no, I don't think you do. Especially given how perilous his chart behavior is. Because if they argue he made all those people, then I would say, well, yeah, but we helped put you there. Like, especially in terms of relationships with the streaming companies. And you think about what happened with Drake's Apple deal that didn't really go anywhere. You think about what Drake's deal that he was going to have with Nike that was going to take off after Pusha T killed the Adidas deal. And I don't know, that Nike deal never really seemed to manifest the way that you would expect. And when you realize that, let's take a look at Drake's own roster in OVO. If Drake was the executive that puts people on, that everyone needs him, why doesn't OVO have another artist outside of Party Next Door? And even his release strategy has been very spotty. Like, I think there might have been an attempt with Four Bats, but he had the worst timing imaginable, and none of that went anywhere. So I look at the entire situation where if I was UMG, I wouldn't let anything get to trial because Drake knows enough to be exposed thing. But I would also recognize Drake's in a poor situation in terms of leverage, in that he is also probably over leveraged himself, given all of the, well, gambling problems and drinking problems and bad with money problems. So honestly, if I was UMG, I'd say, okay, you know what? You want to have a role in the operation. You want to actually have a place in terms of discussion around our business practices. We can't give you a stake in UMG because that would be insanity. But we will say this: we'll let you renegotiate your deal. You want to take some time off? Bet. You want to even be an executive within UMG? We'll give you that too. Oh, wait, now you're beholden to some fiduciary responsibilities in terms of that, and you now have certain things where you can't be as reckless as you want to be. And let's see if you ride or die on being an executive. If I was UMG, I would push for something like that. I would not be surprised if there is some back channeling stuff where Drake winds up with some sort of title that will look like a win, but becomes a loss. Unless he manages to pull a miracle out of his ass and manages to find the next big artist, and I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, it is starting a little bit earlier. Yep. Alrighty. It is official, y'all. Drake and Katy Perry are Karens. You know what? Here's the thing. If anything that Drake exposed went to trial surrounding the business practices of the major labels, he'd have a point. The corruption within the major label system is evident and obvious. We've seen this. I talk about this on Billboard Breakdown all the time. But the thing is that Drake is the wrong messenger to be exposing it. Same with Nicki Minaj being the wrong messenger to exposing it. He might be the one with enough clout in order to pull something off, but even then, I think said clout is shakier than some people will give him credit. And especially given that the last, well, several albums have not been good. Yeah, I think Drake is more of a Cartman. Well, nowadays he is. Um, did you see Dochi's performance on the Colbert Show? I don't watch a lot of late night talk shows, but I wouldn't be surprised if Dochi went off. She's phenomenal from what I've heard, and like we've known that for some time. Hmm. Tom Randall, how about the Detroit Lions tonight against the Packers? I think Packers upset them. I think there's too many injuries on the defensive front when it comes to Detroit. Um, and both teams are gunslingers. Like Jared Goff can throw like nothing. Like he can actually get a lot of separation. They got good receivers there. They've got a good running game. I think, and again, you have a similar loaded offense when you come with Green Bay. I think the major question will be which defense, whether or not Green Bay's defense shows up, because I think it's going to be a boat race. Do you think that Billboard hasn't released their year-end list means they extended their tracking year? They didn't. It came out in press documentation with Billboard that the cutoff date is when we thought it was, which sucks. My sister keeps laughing at Jimmy Kimmel watchers complaining about Knocked Loose. Oh, I have opinions on that. Because here's the thing. I'm not like. Here's the thing. It's ballsy that Jimmy Kimmel brought on Knocked Loose, especially given their style of music for primetime radio, like or primetime like late night. You have to realize that the average late night consumer doesn't listen to anything stronger than easy listening. They maybe listen to one Metallica song and it's from the Black Album. Like you're not talking about an audience that's going for heavier music. So when you get that swerve, it happens. Now to us, it's silly. But to that I can imagine if I showed that to my parents, they wouldn't be into that. And that's the average audience for Jimmy Kimmel. That's the average audience for Colbert or Fallon. They're older people. And while Letterman had a methodology of trying to platform weirder, more experimental acts, they tended to be within the range of radio accessibility when it came to sound, if not like, especially when it comes to metal, it tends to be way harder and way louder. I don't know where Juan Soto's going to sign. Probably not where he should. Kim also brought on the MMB guys, anti-vax. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. I don't really have a lot of. Again, you're not expecting late night hosts to be exactly responsible when it comes to any of this, right? Come on. They're waiting until after the bill. Oh, jeez. I don't know why Billboard is. You know what? I take that back. I know exactly why Billboard is trying to put so much behind their own music awards. They want to actually prop up an institution that they're trying to push, but that they're doing it at the expense of their own record keeping agency, and I think that's really stupid. But again, I've been saying that for a while now. Okay. I understand what you mean. I think it's more so just funny because such an obviously bad idea. It's tough to say. Well, again, it's going to be interesting. I think whatever backlash is, I think keep in mind you guys down south are heading into another conservative administration. If you guys know anything about the history of censorship within music, it got real bad in the late 80s. And I'm talking about from like 85 to 88. The moral majority loved to find ways in order to censor music however they could, especially whenever it got to the radio. So, yeah, expect that probably to be coming up again. Like, it's probably not going away. Hang on. We're getting a reconnection. Okay. Did you guys hear me drop it all? It looks like I was getting messages on my end that I may have lost connection. Can you hear me clearly? I'm seeking in to mention that Pitchfork gave #1 best rock album to Echo Astral's Pink Balloons. Yeah, that was awesome. And Pink Balloons is an excellent album. It's making my year-end list. Okay, lagged for a little bit there. Yeah, all right. Hi there. Good to hear y'all. All right. Yeah, anyway, start time being an hour early, permanent just for tonight. It's just for tonight. Again, I prefer the 7 to 10 structure. Like I had to eat dinner way earlier than I would normally like to handle this, but it is what it is. Mm. Yeah, Devore is a great song too. All right, I have a question about your music audiophile essay. Did the family of the producer who recently passed ever message you about it? No. I don't know if it ever got to them. And I don't think I didn't ever really make a major effort to send the essay to them. Um, so Albini's estate never reached out. I think there was other things that probably got more precedence than my long overdue video essay that took a while to get done, but it is what it is. I'm still very proud of that work. Um, what do you think your favorite album has been for just the first half of every year since 2016? Um, well, okay. I think some of that is pure coincidence because again, like 20, like I think it just depends on what actually comes out, and you also have to take in mind how close some of those years were. Um, 2017 could have gone either way between the Mountain Goats and Brick Body Kids Still Daydream. 2020, no, it wasn't close. 2021 between Emily Scott Robinson and McKinley Dixon. 2022 between Gang of Youths and Jid. Um, this year, I have no clue what my album of the year is. I am still struggling trying to nail that down in terms of what my opinions are. I don't think it's a matter of like I think it's more coincidental rather than implying any sort of correlation with it being within the start or ending of a given year. Also, I think sometimes it's tough to gauge, like in terms of what music sticks with you longer, what actually has that deeper emotional resonance. And the truth be told is that it depends on when you get to certain albums too. Sometimes you're just late. Also, so the longer you have to sit with the album, the more of a connection with it you build. Yes and no. I think that there is some truth that you will have a longer time to build a connection, but you also have a longer time to lose that connection as well, or for something to grow on you or fade on you. That happens. Like, there's some albums that I have praised very, very highly through various points, and then they've cooled on me. And sometimes it's vice versa. Like, or you get something very new that's hot on you, but might cool with time. It's hard to gauge. Outside of 2021, where Street Runner would have won away with it, any recent years would you had a different least favorite hit with expanded eligibility? Tough to say. I think this year is going to be one year that really tests where that goes. And I'm not going to give away anything more about that because it's going to be special. Your Bro Country essay helped change my mind on Florida Georgia Line, Blake Shelton, and Luke Bryan. Okay, I that is both a good and bad thing because, in my opinion, 2 out of 3 of them have more bad music than good. And Blake Shelton's career is frankly way more weird than I think a lot of people know or will acknowledge because he started off making very like late 90s, early 2000s, not neo-traditional music, but music that had a little bit more sensitivity. He was very clearly modeling a lot of his career after Tim McGraw. And then from there, he kind of meandered along. And then he got a really sharp career revival with pretty decent albums in the early 2010s. And then he hopped in bro country and became a face of it. A big part of that was also his social media presence, which was you guys don't know how many bro country acts wiped their social media after, I want to say 2015, 2016, because it used to be wild out there. All right. Also keep in mind about year-end lists for me. I've mentioned this in my Discord, but it hasn't really come up here. I'm operating off of my expanded year-end criterion that I get from Talk of the Charts. So they passed along an expanded list. I'm going to be working off of that when I put together my best and worst of the year. Quite frankly, I should have been doing it sooner, but them's breaks. Crazy how the past still alive fares, and it's almost been a year since it came out. That's been a tricky one for me. I think its strongest moments, it's aged, in my opinion. It dipped for me and then it kind of went back up. At least that's kind of where I'm sitting with that album. Um, I feel like it's an album that is getting a little slept on. I feel like it really hits a certain moment. And I think there's a lot of relevance to where it is right now that I think will really stick. Do you think a lot of the bad takes on country come from how old fashioned it is and how not a lot of people cover it? I'll push back on how a lot of it's not that old-fashioned, or old-fashioned with respect to what? And the second thing is, I think a lot of it's because people don't cover it. People don't know the ecosystem. People don't want to know the ecosystem. I said that last year plenty of times. I think there's a lot of people who have pre-established notions about country and don't really want to see that challenged. It also is a very geographically centered ecosystem within Nashville or Texas. And if you're outside of that ecosystem or you're international, you wouldn't have that same focus on it. But when it comes to something being backwards looking, let's be realistic here. If we go back through a lot of the pop that was big this year, let's say Charlie XCX, that large chunk of that were cribbing straight from the mid 2000s in terms of the pop and dance scene there. Chappell Roan, a lot of her music cribs from some similar territory, along with some Taylor Swift. Like Hot to Go is a Cyndi Lauper song, if we're being real. Like there's a lot of like where we define the historical revisionism one way or the other, where we call upon influences, country gets tarred with it a lot because of the presumption that it tends to be more conservative, but oftentimes it's not. And sometimes you'll see stuff where that just really genre pushing that you wouldn't expect anywhere else. Go listen to The Rise and Fall of American Kitsch by Karen Jonas, which is some of the most striking economic analysis wedged into a country album you're going to hear. Now, it's independent. Majority of people don't hear it, but them's the breaks. What's on my Discord? My Discord is for my patrons and people at the top level of the YouTube memberships, where it's a nice little community. We got a bunch of people, we chat, we talk about music, we talk about politics, we talk about all sorts of things. It was an interesting day today. Everything is a little bit. All right. Do you have a plan for top 50 albums and songs of this year? I do, but it's going to be out a little later. It's probably going to be out in early January. First off, because not a lot comes out in early January anyway. I'm not going to be missing much. But I'm also going to be on vacation, as in out of town, between Christmas and New Year's. So option just does not exist there. Did you see Maren Morris released an EP this year? She didn't quit. Maren Morris did not quit music. Maren Morris said, I'm sick of the country music industry. Like everyone else who is in the country music industry. It was made to be a big deal because she's had to deal with a lot of bullshit, but she's also been one of the recipients of a lot of country music's acclaim in certain spaces, which it kind of frustrates me because I like a lot of her music. I think she has been treated poorly, but I also think there's a number of people who probably should be higher on the list of people who have been treated poorly over her. Like, if we want to have that conversation, I'll point at Casey Musgraves. Okay, what else is here? This year is the year I've stopped listening to the radio. A lot of people do. But you know what? We're coming up on 6:30, and I do have a bit of a timeline here, so let's get into some listening here. It's been a good little Q&A. Yeah, headphones are on. Also, new headphones, and as in they are a replacement of my existing headphones, because there's a little piece inside the hinge right in here that basically allows it to maintain its shape so it doesn't it doesn't spill out too far. That little piece in the hinge wound up breaking on me. And it's hard to find a place where you can repair headphones that's within easy walking distance in Toronto, especially when, again, I'm putting out reviews every day right now. You want to do a movie review on Wicked? I was going to, honestly, probably not at this point. It's been out for a couple of weeks. I've seen it. It's a great movie. Had some discourse around it on my Discord, funnily enough. Maren Morris had to leave Nashville because of Jason Aldean and his wife being transphobic assholes. Yeah, I believe that. And Nashville is in deep red Tennessee. It's not exactly it's an artsy city, but how red or blue it is tends to waver in certain times. You'll see that if you went back, and that's a more complicated conversation. But again, let's get into some listening here. Okay. Headphones are on. Let's go to bed. All right, so brother, interact. Bandcamp Daily. Here we go. Oh, right. We got all their albums come out. They don't rank them. They just put 2 best albums of the year in alphabetical order. That's kind of cool. At some point, I should go back and take a look, see what they have there, see what I'm missing. Okay. Hey, you know what? Speaking of the devil, we got some metal here from Bedsore. The album's called Dreaming the Strife for Love. Again, I've been kind of on a bit of a metal kick. I'm trying to catch up on a lot of stuff before the end of this year. I have no expectation that I'm going to get through everything, but again, I'm trying here. So this is an Italian band, and the song is called Scars of Light. Could be very loud. From what I can tell, this looks like death metal. Black and death metal. All right, here we go. The song's called Scars of Light. Synth there. That's an interesting effect they've got drizzle on top there. Very spacey. There we go. There's the riff. Good groove there. A little light. This is very 70s in certain variety, especially with those keys. No worries, we have another 3 minutes left, at least. No, 2 minutes, I take it back. Okay. the vocals. I've realized that. I don't hear Opeth the same way. Especially as I don't think the low end is as defined and the synths are different. I love this one. All right, that is Scars of Light from Bedsore from the album Dreaming the Strife for Love. It's kind of funny because the past two projects I have reviewed on my channel have been in the proggy death side of things, and you hear some of that, especially with the guitar work, but this certainly leaned a lot heavier on the progressive metal side, especially with the keyboards, how the synth kept ebbing up and in. I didn't think it was bad per se. There were certainly enough interesting moments there, and I think some of the melodic flourishes were nice. Was not impressed by the vocals at all. Like, they felt like they were trying to be this guttural balance between, like, something that, not really a growl, but not a scream either. Can't say I was really wowed by them. They felt very emaciated. There wasn't a lot of power there. I also think, again, I saw the Opeth comparison, but the thing with Opeth is that, and I just hearing their album today, that bass line that Opeth tends to have is a lot thicker. This one, I wasn't getting that same bass. I feel like a lot of the intention was given over to the synths and guitars up near the front, and in comparison with that low end, which I feel like was a little lacking. I do kind of agree with that. It just could have had a little more to it. Not bad by any means. It was certainly interesting. Like, I think the sound of the song was nice, and I can imagine the album probably working. It's interesting listening to this, because what I listened to right before hopping on stream was a new Blood Incantation. My plan is to have a review of that out tomorrow, and the contrast is kind of interesting there. And one thing I will also say with this, I feel this is very, very 70s. Like, I definitely get the notes of inspiration there. I'm not sure it really did enough to break away from that. I will say that. And yes, I did hear about the Sky Ferreira album that's apparently coming next year. I saw she put out a new song. I hate to say it was Sky Ferreira. I'll believe it when I hear it, because again, like I've been hearing the drip tease for the past decade. So we'll have to see. All right, let's keep moving. Album of the day here. Next up is Finesse. The album is called Mosaic. I believe this is a little bit more of a chill vibe. I want to say it's electronica. Let me take a look here. Yeah, electronic music. We're going into more guitar-driven, droning ambient music. And the song's 9 minutes long. All right. That's always fun to start off with a nice long 9-minute song. The song is called Heliconia from the album Mosaic by Finesse. Let's give it a shot. That means my backdrop is going to change. Get this a little bit more grayscale. Maybe be on. Means I'm now very orange. I don't care to be orange. a lot of really high weedy elements around that guitar lead that's a little bit further back. I'm not sure I like the balance there. That high tinny piece is really... I don't care for that. I don't care for it. You can hear the splashing of water. Yeah, that resonance is not nice. Okay, the keys are coming out nicely here. I like that. It's a little better. I don't know. I don't know about this, guys. It's very weedy and wispy there, but like there is some gloss on top. It almost sounds like a bit of like waves, but I don't know. It's doing a little much where it doesn't need to. Yeah. We're not even halfway through it, guys. Come on. Sounded like there was birds there for a second. Okay, you can ebb away from those high frequencies. Like, let the guitar come in. Yeah, that's painful. I don't care for that at all. Okay, you don't need that frequency to stay in there. It's the least... Like, there's no... It's done. It's gone. Oh. Okay. Whew. It got better. It's got better. Now the guitar is just stuttering. Oh, they're bringing it back. Oh. Ugh. I would assume that, but oh God, yeah, this ain't good. This is bad. I don't care for this at all. Oh, jeez, jeez. Yeah. I did not need to test my headphones, like my new headphones frequency sensitivity, especially to something that's that high. Oh. You know, I'm assuming there is an audience for this. People with hearing loss. Listen, I like ambient music. This is not... God. I apologize to everyone having to sit through this. We're near 2 minutes left, I think. Just under 2 minutes left. Oh, jeez. Yeah, this is like literal dog whistle. We'll get to the actual ambient complaint after the main frequency in a second. Ah, jeez! Oh, God! Okay. If this fades out, fade out. You can fade at any time now. Oh, jeez. You sure about that, Bandcamp? You sure? You sure? Okay, it's fading out. Enough. Heliconia by Finez from the album Mosaic. When you have something saying headphones are a must when talking about this album, I don't believe you. Because that was excruciating. That was one of the worst experiences I've had on bandwidth possibly ever. That was horrible. Okay, maybe it's just new headphones and they're a little bit more sensitive to higher frequencies because those parts of the headphones have not yet been blown out or destroyed through some level of sensitivity. But that specific high frequency drizzled all over the top of this mix. I don't get what it was doing. I don't see the purpose of it. I understand that some of this is trying to highlight a certain amount of decay in these mixes, trying to evoke emotion. I'm not sure the emotion you want is pain. That didn't sound good. And what was more annoying is that there was cool elements there. I think that in terms of how the ambient shifts came through, I think some of the guitars that, at least initially, with a little bit more of electric sizzle, alongside some of the rain, that sounded fine. You didn't need to put all that crap on top. And then it got more brittle and spare, and honestly, kind of had that little bit of a vibrato thing going. I don't think it earned its runtime. You all are troopers for sticking around, but no. No, that was no. I cannot recommend that. Okay. Apologies there. All right, next up we have from Negro Leo. The album's called Rayla. I don't know what this... I believe it's hip-hop, if I'm correct. No, it's devotional music. Okay, that's interesting. and the song is called Date My Age. Okay. So apparently this guy bounces over a lot of different styles, like psych rock, some experimental pop. He does some Latin pieces as well. He's out of Brazil. This could be interesting. The song is called "Date My Age," from the album "Rayla" by Negro Leo. Let's give it a shot. Okay. This feels like an idea that got away from someone. Yeah, it's experimental, right?
Eita, meu Deus, lá em casa.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a jazz groove going on here. Okay.
Eu sou uma mulher cara.
Meu Deus, o que foi que eu fiz com minha vida, Jesus? Eu tô chorando. Tô encalhado já faz mais 5 anos.
That's a really tinny horn.
Aí você tem que me bancar.
Então, Davi, se você quiser ficar comigo, você gosta desses cachorro quente? Como é que eu faço pra conquistar esse coração dessa princesinha? Bem brasileirado, bem molhadinho.
Sapatinho.
Okay, that was Date My Age by Negro Leo, from the album Muriel. Interesting. I'm not going to say that's bad, because I don't quite think it is. The interesting thing that immediately jumps out with that is I have the lyrics up in front of me. He opens up that quasi-devotional passage by listing names of dating apps. Literally, the lyrics go Tinder, Bumble, Happen, Grindr, Inner Circle, Duomo, Ashley Madison, Transier, Badu, Zoe, Yubo, Lovely, and then he says date my age. I kind of think I kind of get what he's trying to do, in terms of drawing an idea towards the cacophony of what is being packaged versus yes, I know Ashley Madison. I don't know who considers that a dating app. Also, really dated reference. Pardon the pun. In that case, like, and then he tries to go back to focus on what matters to him, kind of. The song felt very overstuffed. The horns didn't really pay off as effectively as I'd like them to. I wouldn't say it was bad per se, but it was. I think it's more of an experiment, and I'm kind of on the fence of how much it worked. And the percussion was doing a lot there too. So again, experimental. It's going to work for somebody. I'll go with that. All right, let's keep moving. One last one here. This looks like something we've heard before. From Julie Beth Napolin, Only the Void Stands Between Us. Why does this look familiar? We've covered a lot in the show. Also, more experimental, although this is experimental folk. The song is the title track, Only the Void Stands Between Us. It's going to be a bit of a long one. But okay, experimental folk. Let's give it a shot. Oh yeah, they're referencing Dead Can Dance. This feels familiar. I feel like we may have heard this already. We will see. Because I remember seeing the Dead Can Dance reference again. Yeah, this is like that spacey bit of folk music. I remember we probably have covered this. This is a good song though. I wouldn't mind listening to it again. Yeah, this is that spacey, like, rattling folk song, and I remember really liking this. Change the lights a little. Hang on, good point. It's pleasant. That's a very chill electric guitar. Yeah, I think we kind of needed this. We needed a breather. And to be fair, we got through the longest song we will probably hear tonight, being like 9 minutes. I do not want to look at my metrics after that, how many of y'all had to bounce, and I couldn't blame you. Bit of a 90s touch to how this feels, especially in terms of some of the actual melody line. It's pleasant though. Rural Tour, when it comes to that brand of ambient with that frequency, I think that's fair. Alright folks, that's the title track, Only the Void Stands Between Us by Julie Beth Napolin. I'm fairly certain I have covered this song at some point here before. It sounded very, very familiar. And honestly, I appreciate the come down moment because we've had a bit of a roller coaster to start things off. That was really nice. I like the acoustic foundation, a little bit more ramshackle, that allowed the electric guitars to simmer well. I like her voice. I feel like the song maybe runs out of ideas, probably by about the 3.5, 4 minute mark, but still very pleasant. I get why they may have I get why Bandcamp may have reposted this, because sometimes they do that. Excuse me. But yeah, that was very pleasant. Not going to complain about that at all. Playing a video game to help me get it through the 9-minute mark. Yeah, I don't blame people for focusing on other things outside of me. I'm kind of the backroads DJ here, trying to expose you all to the inanities and insanities. More insanities on Bandcamp. But that covers our block of regular albums, because the good thing here is that when it comes to Bandcamp, they had Thanksgiving, which made things a little bit easier in terms of sequencing, in terms of stuff I can get through. But we're now up to the new and notable here. Okay, let's start off with this one from Muriel Grossman, The Light of the Mind. The celebrated saxophonist sublimates Buddhist principles and meditative practices into an uplifting, majestic, spiritual jazz record. Okay, we got some jazz. I'm ready for some jazz. It's a longer jazz song. It's about 7 minutes long. The song's called Unison Unveiled. Let's give it a shot. Get the right appropriate music for some jazz up in here. Well, classical jazz too. Not wrong chords. That's closer. I agree with you, Tom. At some point, I will need to get a jazz emote. It feels like there's an Indian texture to this alongside the sax, which is I don't feel like it's doing a lot in terms of experimentation, but it's very, very chill. Nice drums too. Ooh. It is pretty groovy. I'll give it that. Yeah, I hear a bit of Alice Coltrane. I get that. The brass is better blended, I will say that. There's a little bit of intricacy if you pay attention to it. I feel like this is comfort music, but not in a bad way. Like, it's not challenging, I don't think, but maybe it doesn't need to be. Yeah, I really like the drums here. Like, this is... Like, this would be very regular, smooth jazz, but the drums are doing a little more. And nowhere near as freeform. This is definitely more studied and composed. Oh, they're hammering those arpeggios. Okay. Speaking of the devil, it's snowing outside right now. Perfect. Love it. Love it. It just is like, this is probably our first snow that's gonna stick this year. And we were expecting it 4 days ago. Ooh, I like how they're ending with the bass there. Oh, yeah. Repeating motif, I like it. A very easy vibe to like, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone in between. That's from Muriel Grossman, Light of the Mind. The song is called Unison Unveiled. That was very nice. That was very pleasant. I feel like we've got the appropriate come down. We've now settled ourselves. And in terms of that sort of jazz, it's not going to be the sort of freeform jazz that we occasionally get that's way more experimental, goes all over the place. In essence, that's fine, though. I feel like a lot of what we get with that is very competently played. I think the horn work was very nice. I think the interplay, especially with the more developed percussion, was very good. I really liked how the snares popped off there. And there was definitely melodic motifs that came back effectively. Like, that felt like a very well-composed veteran song. Am I going to go, like, crazy for it? No. I feel like it's very tasteful. I've seen some people describe it as elevator music. I get that. But overall, it's certainly not bad, certainly very pleasant. And yeah, after what we had to deal with the opening bit of the show, I'm entirely okay with a little bit of that. All right, let's keep moving. Next up, okay, I don't know who this is. This is from Kelibombo. The album's called Barrio Popular. Is a Venezuelan producer and multi-instrumentalist drawing upon the French African and South African diasporas. The song is called Juega, featuring Pahua. Okay, I don't know what we're getting with this. It is described as electronic and Afrobeat, so this could be really eclectic. Not sure what we're gonna get. Let's give it a shot. Well, that's an accordion. Also out of focus. There we go. That's better. Make that more. There we go. That's better. Yeah, it's different than a lot of the Afrobeat. Oh, interesting change up. The blend here is interesting because the horns are really nice. I believe it is Bandcamp Friday, this upcoming Friday. Yep. If you're looking to buy on Bandcamp, please prioritize tomorrow because Bandcamp Fridays, Bandcamp removes their cut and also allows all the money to go back directly to the artist. I believe it's Bandcamp Friday. I might be wrong there. Cross my fingers there. Cultural clash with this one. Horns are nice. There's a good melody here. There's some interesting contrast here that I'm not really expecting. The bass is well mic'd. It's got some real liquid presence here, I think. But I feel like the percussion might be it should be a little looser. It's looser in segments. All right. That was from Barrio Popular from Kelibombo. The song was called Juega, featuring Pahua. Interesting. Again, I feel like it was there's a bit of a culture clash there. I feel like the accordion alongside the horns, alongside the Afrobeat percussion, but felt a little stiffer and would occasionally feel like it was dripping towards something closer to a more lockstep groove, which I wasn't always sure was flattering. Overall, it had character to it. I feel like there was a lot going on. Melodically, if it sounded familiar, the song that immediately came to my mind was Side to Side by Ariana Grande and Nicki Minaj, which bad comparison, I know, because it shows my cultural illiteracy out when it comes to that brand of music, but at the same time, that melody really stuck with me. But at the same time, I think the song is good. Again, hard to say that it really grabbed me because it felt like it locked into its space and then felt like it kind of dragged for a little bit. And I feel like the percussion switch ups were trying to keep us engaged, but I'm not sure there was just enough there to really back it. Again, without vocals, that kind of did let it down a little bit. But yeah, that was all right. I'm not going to complain about that. All right, let's keep moving. Next is a soundtrack, a mid-2010s vibe. Jesse J. Apricot. Yeah, geez, I haven't thought about that in a long, long time. Okay, next one is a soundtrack piece. We're going to skip that. Next, we got an electronic song. This is from Aus, or from Aus? Maybe Aus, I think. The album is called Fluctor. Experimental. Oh boy, another experimental project. All right. The song is only 4 minutes long. Song's called Dear Companion. It features Meg Baird. Let's give it a shot.
I once did have a dear companion. Indeed, I thought his love my own.
I know this.
Until a black-haired girl betrayed me, and then he cares no more for me. Just go and leave me if you wish to. It will never trouble me, for in your heart you love another, and in my grave I'd rather be.
Oh, this is really pretty. Very spare piano, but the vocals I like a lot. Like very willowy and like in the backing progression there.
Last night you were so sweetly sleeping, dreaming in such sweet repose, while me, a poor girl, lay broken hearted, listening to the wind that blows. When I see your baby laughing,
Those strings are beautiful.
makes me think
Wow.
of your sweet face. But when I see your baby crying, it makes me think of my disgrace. I wish I was some little sparrow, and I had wings and I could fly. I'd fly away to my own true.
That's whether or not it feels a little oversold.
When he called it happy night. But I ain't no little sparrow. I ain't got wings and I can fly. So I sit right here in grief and sorrow. I sit
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one to discuss. That was Dear Companion featuring Meg Baird from Oss. The album's called Fluctor. That was really pretty. I really loved the main melody and the piano. I really loved how the strings came up around it. Meg Baird's vocals really fit into that niche effectively. I thought the song was really, really pretty. I don't always feel like he always played it as much as it could have, though. I feel like the strings kind of overpowered certain parts of it. I feel like it could have afforded to be a little bit more restrained and subtle, or maybe just ended a little bit more gradually, or just go bombastic over the top. And it kind of fits in a weird middle ground. I'm not sure it fully paid it off. I still really like that, but I had the feeling I should have loved it, and I don't quite think I do. I'll say that. All right, next up, we got some electronic music again. This is from Michael Diamond from his Placid Wakefulness EP. The song is called Reverse Entropy. I'm not sure what we're going to be getting here. It's identified as jazzy techno from the UK. All right, the song's called Reverse Entropy. Let's give it a shot. Get the lights up proper. About that. That's better. Chat keeps dropping. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Well, that's a sharp groove. I like the patter there. That's a groove. The drippy build alongside some of the percussion. It's nice. I like this. Bass is really well mic'd too. I feel like after the ambient stuff, everything here has just been trying to soothe us down a little bit. Like, set more vibe. Ooh, bit of horns there. This is going to be a longer song. We're talking about 6 minutes, so. Yeah, the algorithm's apologizing or I'm apologizing. You need some reason to stick around. Percussion might be trying to do a little much. Got the rubbery shutter there. What's happening to the groove? Yeah, definitely sax intensifies with this. Oh, this is a change up. Wasn't expecting this. What the hell? It's almost like a borderline hyperpop breakdown, especially in some of those like metallic cloying textures. This would go pretty hard in a club. Okay, that's interesting. That was Reverse Entropy from Michael, I believe it, Michael Diamond from the Placid Wakefulness EP. That was cool. I thought that was really cool. Interesting things that immediately jumped out with that was, again, the percussion, the build-up, how that bass was layered really came through nicely in terms of just picking up that galloping momentum, especially with that fluttery melody that pretty much persisted the majority of the song. I thought the bass was really well mic'd, and then it had then the saxophone came in. That was pretty cool. And the only way I could describe it as a hyperpop breakdown, because some of those metallic, very cloying textures that kind of smashed off each other in that middle of a breakdown, wasn't my thing, but I get how it works. So I'm not about to denigrate it. Like, the song had a really good pace. It really flowed well. It was certainly catchy. Yeah, it was good. I'm going to say that was good. I'm not going to call it great because I'm not sure it worked for me, but yeah, that was fine. I'd definitely say that. That would fit in terms of some jazzy ambient techno. That works. Let's keep moving here. And now for something completely different. We have some scrappy left field folk rock. So all the people who were alienated by all the jazz and electronic music, here's where we get you back. This is from Blue Terry. The album's called Building a Case, and the song is called Roller Coaster Therapy. Let's give it a shot.
I believed in some kind of roller coaster therapy. Couldn't be simply just the day I saved myself from near death.
That's a vocal choice.
Accelerate a full chakra reset by stealth. In 13 seconds I needed 12. I even thought it could have been the cold I caught, because people say, well, hey, that's your body's way of flushing itself out. But Jimmy sees who was with you when you knocked for me, smiles and says, fundamental changes. It's the girl, it's the girl.
That is a very nasal vocal delivery.
It's the girl, it's the girl. I was convinced in the spoken word at first, apprehensive, cause I hate that stuff. Meditation.
There's something punk to this.
Of drinking Charlie loves, my dear. It was spending time with him, but well, as much as I did,
Yeah, a lot of Dylan.
I'm sorry to say, however close of a man, I've been waking up and looking forward to life and everything in it seems to suddenly spring into new
Okay, electric guitar.
all you must do is keep it. It's the girl. It's the girl.
This is so college rock.
It's the girl.
This is very college rock. This would have been a thing in a very specific era.
It's the girl. It's the girl. It's the girl. We suddenly spring into new meaning, and all you must do is keep it.
Okay.
Ask a kid which way the sun moves, they might say it follows me. We all know destiny leaves, but I swear the light made such an image of the branches, and it proves fundamental changes. It's the girl, it's the girl, it's the girl, it's the girl, it's the girl.
You know what this reminds me of? The 88.
It's the girl, it's the girl, it's the girl, it's the girl. We suddenly spring into new meaning, and all you must do is keep it.
Okay, that's Roller Coaster Therapy by Lou Terry from the album Building a Case. All right, listen. The big thing you will have to get past with that song are the vocals. He said I saw in the chat, we have Bob Dylan at home. Yeah, kind of hard to get around that. I don't think they were terrible. I once you got used to the timbre, it kind of made sense. And again, it fits that sort of very kind of nasal brand of college rock. I saw the comparison with Daria. Honestly, this feels a little more polished. It's something you would have heard in, let's say, the early to mid 2000s in terms of something that would have gotten played there. Especially given when you look at the lyrical content, it's like, I'm trying to go through a bunch of stuff, but really it's the girl that brings me back to some level of sanity. Hey, we've all been there. I'm not going to say it was exceptional. I'm not going to say it was especially well written either. It certainly had its clever moments, but again, maybe it's just me having enough in the nostalgia window that I get what it was going for, but that was fine. It was all right. And again, like, it's the sort of thing that I don't find particularly offensive per se. And again, we've had offensive music tonight that's gone on way longer than that did. At least knew how to get in and get out. All right, we got some French indie rock coming up. This is from Rivan. The album is called Les Hommes et les Temps Passants. The song is called Comme une Évidence. We got some nervy French indie rock. Let's give it a shot. One, two, three, hit it.
Dormir, cauchemar. 7h du mat, la France se lève. Ramper, tomber, gagner ta vie, mordre à pleines dents. Produire, servir, comme un mantra qui t'obsède. Craquer, subir, gagner ta vie en attendant. Marcher, zoner, tu erres parmi les forces. Écraser,
That's a cool little bit of like strings in there.
Porter, trier ta vie dans un formulaire vide, avancer comme une évidence, comme une évidence. Les mots, les gestes ne s'effacent pas. Ramper, subir, courber les chines. Les mots, les gestes ne s'effacent pas. Comme une évidence, comme une évidence. Gagner, produire, visage radieux et faux semblant. Porter, supporter, tu plies le dos, râle en silence. Rage, colère, gagner ta vie, coup de sang, coup de nerf. Réagir, laisser faire, résistance ou résilience. Pleurer, prier, rayer de la liste des parts dociles. Dégoût, repli, choisis ta cible, c'est si facile. Défi, mépris, cracher ta haine, c'est ton fardeau. Avance, comme une évidence, comme une évidence. Les mots, les gestes ne s'effacent pas. Ramper, subir, courber.
Feels kind of post-punk a little bit. Or a little bit, no, that's like more post-punk revival. The very 2000s, again.
Ramper, tomber, produire, servir, craquer, subir, marcher.
That violin really is effective there. I like that a lot.
Porter, trier, avancer, gagner, produire, recommencer. Porter, supporter, réagir, laisser faire. Rage, colère, pleurer, subir, crier, dégoût, colère, défi, mépris, avancer, recommencer, écraser, s'écraser, dormir, cauchemar, rêver, tomber, produire, servir, craquer, subir, marcher, zoner, écraser, s'écraser, porter, trier, s'arrêter, recommencer.
Nice bass line, too. All right, that was Comme une évidence from Rivan, from the album Les Hommes et le Temps Passant. Again, apologies for my French, mon français est terrible. That was really cool. That was really neat. I really liked the 2000s post-punk revival style of that, especially when you have that little bit of violin to add that a little bit added element of danger alongside that sinuous bass line, a really good guitar groove. Describing it as nervy is very effective. Now, yes, it is very French. Like, it's hard not to look at that and like, yeah, that feels very French to me. But at the same time, I don't know. If more of it sounded like that, I'd be into it. Like that was really cool. I heard the vision. I heard what it was. Like that was neat. That was really neat. I like that. That was good stuff. Also, if one thing I will say, I can check on Bandcamp how many people have actually bought this album, or in this case, it's an EP. There's only 4 songs here. As of right now, only one person has bought this. I mean, if you had fun with that, options available. Right now, it's only one person. All right, let's keep going. Okay, we got some Chilean electronic music from Otto Tai. The album's called Love Story. The song's called Goto MIDI. Bit of a shortcut here, a little bit of an interlude. Let's give it a shot. Restrained piano, but I like the live drums coming in here. Ooh, that's sharp. Ooh, nice bass. There's some real punch to the low end on this. And the percussion feels very well mic'd. That's nice. That is really nice. Ugh, that bass is great. Ooh. Bit of an abrupt ending there, but that was from Otto Tai in the album Love Story, Gato MIDI. That was really cool. A bit of a spare cut in terms of there wasn't a lot going on, but I really liked the piano line. And then the drums were really punchy, really crisp feeling, and that bass line was so well developed. Like, yeah, it wasn't doing a lot, but what it was doing it so well. I gotta automatically praise that. That was really cool. Yeah, bass go burr. I get it. When it's all like that, I feel it too. Like its transitions probably really well into that next track. I have to, again, this is an EP. There's only 5 songs on it. Maybe only about 10 people bought this too. Like, again, I'm gonna highlight some of that because again, we're talking about stuff that is not getting a ton of attention. And again, Bandcamp is putting it on their page. It's shocking how few people do what we do going through new music or being willing to actually put their money down for it. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's keep moving. That we're skipping over because it's not on my docket properly. That's a compilation. All right, Heavy Moss. Okay, we got some psych rock here from Heavy Moss. Okay, that's the name of a band. The album's called Dead Slow. Oh boy, I hope it's not telling. Well, the song's over 5 minutes long, so yeah. And the song is called Star. Let's give it a shot. Ooh. Definitely psych rock. A little bit of stoner rock, too. Those are the vocals you would get for this. Those are some 60s harmonies. Thing is, I have the lyrics in front of me, and when you realize this is a breakup song, it's got an edge to it. And if anything, that kind of works for the harmonies being a little off when you have a breakup song. This has some groove to it. Ooh. Good parallel, Cam. I hear that. Because once you hear the Tame Impala in this, you can't unhear it. Ooh. No, that's I believe it's a synth effect that's doing that. All right, that was Star from Heavy Moss. The album is called Dead Slow. That was interesting because here's the thing. Compositionally, I like that a lot. It changes up well. It feels very deliberately paced in order to accentuate the groove. I think melodically, it's doing enough to sustain the runtime, which kind of shocks me. Here's the problem, and I actually, there's a couple things. I do also want to praise this and say that as a breakup song, I like how subtly discordant it feels, especially as it's very much the sort of weary breakup as of neither of us are good for each other. I can't be your star in your life. We just have to end this. Like, I kind of appreciate the feeling. I like how the music accentuates that feeling. But here's the thing. This comes out in 2014. It's alongside Temples and Tame Impala. Like, I know what this is doing. I've heard this before. It's not like it's bad by any means, but it's very much trying to do something in which it's very much would be delivered with more melodic refinement. This feels shaggier and rougher around the edges, which can work to a certain degree, but I'm not sure will be as effective. Like, if that's the song that's being pushed as a single, I get it, but I don't know. Again, like, it's very obvious where its roots are. Not saying that's a bad thing, I just know what it is. Still kind of cool. Like, I still would recommend that. That's an interesting song. All right, let's keep moving. Next one is a various artists compilation. And now we got some, oh boy, more experimental music. Experimental alternative music, though. Trying to blend, let's read the description here. Experimental musician Maya McCrory's solo debut blends in glassy synths and strings with bleary trip hop and shoegaze inspired beats. Okay, the album is all right. The artist is called Collie. The album is called Montalvo. The song is called Day You Told Me. Let's give it a shot. Oh, that's pretty. That's really pretty.
Like this.
Oh, this is so 90s. Put this out in 96. It works. The Portishead is strong with you. There we go. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's very, yeah. If you're of a certain age, this hits a certain button. This is a jam. I'm digging this. Like, very obviously derivative, but it's derivative of good stuff. Ooh. That was Day You Told Me from Collie. The album is called Montalvo. Here's the thing. The song is incredibly pleasant. I like that style of percussion. I like those very ethereal vocals. I thought the melody was well balanced between the keyboards and the strings. But dear God, like, it's frustrating because it is a vibe I like. It's a vibe that's very clearly trying to evoke something in the past, that being Portishead in the 90s. And like some of that trip hop sound, it's very obvious how it conveys. I kind of wish a little bit more of the shoegaze texture had come through as described. Like, I'm not hearing it on that song. Maybe it's on the rest of the project. But again, like, it is a very easy song to zone out to. And if I have a critique about this, I'm not sure the hook is very strong. Like, it's a very good texture, but compositionally, is it doing anything more to really engage me? It's good. It's certainly very agreeable, certainly listenable. It would be your jam, but would you remember this in contrast with other stuff that would have come out in this lane, even in this time? Yeah, it's not bad. I'm certainly not going to complain about it, but again, I'm listening there like, is it special? I don't know if it's as special as I want it to be. Note how I said that. I don't know if it's as special as I want it to be. Let's make that clear. It is what it is. Next song is Posthumous. Next setup here is Posthumous. We're going to skip that. And then we got a soundtrack, which I'm also going to skip. All right, got some club music coming up here. Let's some looks of it. This is from Toulouse Low Tracks. The album is called Fung Day. Oh boy. Yes, you heard me right. Fung Day. And the song is called Traction Avant. Got some club. Hopefully this is a banger. Let's hear what we go. Nice scratching. Oh, some bars. Yeah, I hear the tapping too. The groove isn't bad. I'm looking for where it's going to change up here. Like the scratching I like too, but like again, where are you taking me? Yeah, I feel when you call yourself Toulouse Low Tracks and your album's called Fung Day, I feel like you need a little more. Granted, this is going to go for another few minutes, so it's probably going to change up, but the vocal punch-ins aren't bad, but it's not doing enough. Kind of a shame because I like the groove here. Like the beat is nice. Oh, we got a melody. There's a faint little melodic shift up there. I think you need more. Okay. All right, bass is ramping. Don't blue balls me here. Really? Really? Yeah, at this point I've lost faith that the song's going to do anything interesting. Yeah, I'm with you, Koth. This is not doing it for me. Good to hear, Realtor. That was Traction Devant from Toulouse Low Tracks, and the album's called Fung Day. That song should be doing way more than it is. What frustrates me here is that I like the groove. I like the scratching. I like that kind of, it's kind of got a bit of a bubbling like bounce to it. There was more to it. I think some of the vocal cut-ins were decent. There were snippets of a melodic change-up or a bass change-up, and then none of it went anywhere. Like, it feels like this is the sort of song that could have gone somewhere. Just like, nah, we're good. We'll lock in. We'll just be there. They'll just ride it out. I'm like, the definition of a great foundation, but build something on the foundation. That was close to being great, and as is fine, but I'm not going to remember it. And that's kind of the problem. Like, you have a good foundation, you need to add a little bit more to really suck me in. And that was close, but it just didn't get there. I'll be honest, that was disappointing. That should be better. Yeah, it'd be fine. Yeah, it didn't do enough. Next up, we got some R&B. Thank God. All right, this is from the OMise. The album's called Trust the Stars. And the song's called I Like That, featuring Connie Khan. Apparently, Jamila Woods is on this album, too. Interesting. Let's give this a shot. I Like That by the OMise.
Life on the run, chasing the sun. Something in that magic. So hold on if you have it. Chasing the sun. Life on the run. There's something in that magic. So hold on if you have it.
Ooh. Horns are a little wispy.
Today, eyes closed in my head. Everything was easy. Rolling down the
Cute joke there, Tom.
time it just to break. Everything was easy, baby, yeah. Seems like nothing's wrong. Out here chasing home.
The percussion's nice. I'm not sure I love the vocals.
It's much more easy said than done. You keep it shadow.
Also, love that synth there.
Can't take what you left. What you left. Life on the run. Chasing the sun. Something in that magic. So hold on if you have it. Chasing the sun. Life on the run. Something in that magic. So hold on if you have it. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on if you can. You can't hide from what you're running from. So hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on while you can. You can't hide from what you're running from.
I'm chasing that perfect sunset. My
Ooh.
bags are packed with no plan B. It might be better if I left, and if you need a little closure, there's a letter on the fridge for you. Highs and the lows, take me anywhere but here. Eyes on the road, yo, I never shed a tear. Storm clouds still brewing, feeling heavy in my rear view mirror, daydreaming of some palm tree silhouettes. I can't breathe from the cigarette smoke. I can't sleep on my pillow wet. I just want that feeling where the sun is in my eyelids. Ocean breeze, waves crash, penetrate the silence. Yo, take me anywhere but here. Squinting at the view, and if you see me shed a tear.
The little guitar
Eyes
sizzle's
on the
nice.
prize, we bless the sunrise. Some bittersweet symphony, lights flashing on the horizon. No, yeah. Connie Khan, the OMise. Zeus to the world.
Life on the run, chasing the sun. Something in that magic. Hold on if you have it. Chasing the sun. Life on the run. Something in that magic. Chasing the sun. Life on the run. Life on the run. Chasing the sun. Life on the run. Chasing the sun.
I don't mind the jam to go out, but I feel like the song hasn't really earned it. All right, that was I Like That featuring Connie Khan from the OMise from the album Trust the Stars. Gotta be honest, I feel like this is probably an act that I would like more, but I don't think they put their best foot forward with this. Now, granted, the groove was really good. I liked the percussion. I liked the horns. It had a little bit of that Chicago soul and R&B swagger to it, where I'm going to list a couple of the guest features after this, and you're like, oh, I get what this is. And you know what? It was fine. I think the vocals are really weak. You can't get around it. When Connie Khan comes on, he's got a little bit more swagger and character to his delivery. The vocals from the band otherwise felt so frail. There wasn't a lot of presence here. And granted, I didn't think Connie Khan was doing anything all that special. I thought his verse was fine, but it wasn't jumping off the page or anything like that. But when I tell you that on this album you have Jamila Woods and Pink Sifu, that was the song that should have been pushed from this, I would imagine, just because it had a little bit more vibrancy. Because it's fine, it's good, but I've heard this brand of Chicago R&B before, and it's fine, but it's not changing anything. It's not challenging anything. And again, I feel it's probably a little bit too long for what it was trying to pull off. Not bad, certainly listenable, but wanted to like that one more. All right, let's keep moving. Okay, we got some classic Americana from Shan Bara. The album's called Internal Trembling, and the song's called Firefly. All right, let's give this a shot.
Let me teach you how to fight. Boys are just boys when they learn to lie. Just like you can't believe I'm here, and just like you, I'm so sincere. Disappear my firefly. I still
Oh, that's pretty.
sweat. Hope you wear mine. Look for you through the trees. Shine your light. I promise this time I'll be sweet. Grateful when you talk to me.
Kick drum's nice.
With your voice so kind and your heart so sweet. I see you in the tears this brings. Guess it's hard to hide the real thing. Disappear my firefly. I still wear your sweater. Hope you wear mine.
Oh.
For you through the trees. Shine your light. I promise this time. And I'll be sweet.
You call this Hobbitcore, but it's not. And I'll get to why in a bit.
Look at this, let's not pretend. No secrets now, no secrets then. You can choose the path you take. And I will do my best to wait. Disappear my firefly.
That's a build to it, though.
Sweater, hope you'll wear mine. Look for you
I'm going to say some very mean things in a second. Oh, God. That was Firefly by Shan Bara. The album is called Internal Trembling. Okay. Let me say this. I think the crescendo was well executed. I think the strings backing that acoustic line and the percussion built well. I think this brand of adult alternative folk music has a place. I'm not the sort of person who would rip on this. If you can say that this would have dropped in the early 2010s, and I can tell you that this guy's out of Brooklyn, would you be remotely surprised? No. I think the metaphor is a little cloying, but honestly, I don't know if it's the metaphors that are cloying or the very close tracked female vocals alongside a guy that, yeah, I'm just going to say it, I'm a better singer than this guy. I am a better singer than this guy. Like, he didn't convey much. Like, I think my issue with his voice isn't that it's weak, or isn't that it's shaky, is that it didn't convey a lot of emotion. If anything, it conveyed shocking weakness, but also a weird blankness to it. I was listening to him, I'm like, yeah, he's not bad. I would hear him, I could imagine this playing alongside, let's say, Passenger, but yeah, there's no power here. There's nothing, there's no, like, the yearning is not manifesting. It feels very safe for what it is. I don't dislike it. I don't think it's bad per se, but it's like, yeah, you give this to a better singer, this goes off way harder. And I don't know, like, it was just very, this sort of brand of sensitive indie folk is, you know, I don't dislike it, but I wish the writing was doing a little bit more. I wish the vocals were doing anything that was impressing me. Like, let's move on. I'm going to say something that's going to sound very mean, and I feel like, and again, if I'm looking at the number of people who, yeah, 6 people bought this song, have bought this guy's project. At this point, it feels like I'm punching down. All right, let's keep moving. All right, we got some pastoral folk music called Sing Nightingale. This is a really short piece called Dance Nightingale from Michaela Atalova and Aderin Mihir. Let's give it a shot. This is the Hobbit music. Yep. Oh, I like this way too much. Shit. Oh, you had the fiddle. The funny thing is, they have good melodies here. This is catchy. Yeah, I'm enjoying this way too much. I gotta stop. A quick little 90 seconds to show you what this sort of folk music is like. That was Dance Nightingale from the project Sing Nightingale by Michaela Atalova and Aderin Mihir. I really enjoyed that. It's like 90 seconds. It was a nice little, it was a short little snacky song. I thought the woodwind sounded great. I thought the fiddle sounded great. Yeah, I am way too much of a sucker for this to review this objectively. Again, call it Hobbit music. Yes, it is. Absolutely. That's why I like it. Let's keep moving. All right, let's get some hip hop up in this. All right, this is from Nakukluk, UK hip hop. The project is called Still World, and the album is called Son of Star. The album is called Still World. The song is called Son of Star. All right, I'm curious. Let's give it a shot. Interesting. That is very sharp percussion. Definitely electro touches to this.
My love, my life for a guardian angel. Baby, no, I would never change you. Maybe I live, I die. So petrified under your tender sword. I wonder who made me mine. Cause I've been cutting foes like dream punches. Head, leg implodes, lean on lean crutches. Hand on the hilt, you got your hand on the hilt. You gonna wait till I tilt. You gonna die on this hill. Hand on the hilt, you got your hand on the hill. You gonna wait till they tilt. You gonna die.
Reed, you're right. There's a little bit of slow tie here. Okay, slow tie, but then with Matt Beringer, like in terms of like supplemental vocals. Huh. I was gonna hit harder. He's a little canned, but like. Okay. I think we're fading out. Okay. That was Hand on the Hilt. Apologies there. It looks like one of those cases where Bandcamp got it mixed up between my phone or what's being pre-filled on the app versus what's being put forward on the site. That's Hand on the Hilt by Nakukluk from the album Still World. Not gonna lie, I kind of really like that. The glassy, clunkier percussion. I didn't always like how compressed it always sounded. Like it felt like it was really trying to brick parts of the mix. But the textural elements, the fact that the hook really came together, a bit of a slow tie vibe. Also, a little bit in some of the texturally kind of reminded me a bit of Injury Reserve. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, can someone forward this to Not Real Music? I think Ryan would have a lot of fun with this. A little bit weird. I'm not sure it fully works, but that was intriguing enough to get me thinking that if you put this in front of Bandcamp at the right time, not Bandcamp, if you put this in front of Rate Your Music at the right time, they'd go nuts over that. I guarantee it. It's forward-thinking enough, but also has a strong enough foundational hook. I can see that working. I'm a little bit surprised how much it worked for me. It was impressive. Yeah, good stuff. All right, let's keep moving. Okay, we got some... Okay, this is going to be fun. All right, hang on a moment. There we go. All right, next up here. This is from Doc Brown and Tony Bones. We got more rap here. It's got a very chilled EP. Apparently, Doc Brown, he's also from West London, from the UK. He's been away from 7 years. Excuse me. So, let's hear some chill music. The song here is actually reasonably short. It's called Story, We're Still Here. From the album, it's called Do More, Say Less. Let's hear it.
Now let me take you to a place where every one of us was brought pocket, where every kid had potential, but how'd you unlock it? You just want to demonstrate your excellence, success is beckoning, but hear a siren, you either run or you duck from it. My sister wrote about the bits and made a buck from it. Inspirational, it had me saying fuck logic. Maybe disadvantages become our superpowers, turn the working class experience to art and make enough profit. I watch it back like it's a movie, more a documentary. Appleston Gardens on the lane, you know the proper entry. No, this ain't the 2020s, get me, this is last century. Dinner was corned beef, hash wasn't Ottolenghi, not got a penny, it was Sam's chicken. Cause we ain't going south for Morley's. Yes, you guessed it, I'm talking North Wheeze. You see the shooters on
really like the groove on this.
Pure fiends, Oliver Twist, like more please. Don't see us, don't see us, don't see us, don't see us. But we're still here. Don't see us, don't see us.
This is a lot of very veteran poise to it. Still here.
Wonder how he got the gift of the gab when he grew up on the Kilburn High Road. Is he mad? Man a burn, man a kill, shoot on, shoot uphill, taking black man's lives like the Ku Klux. Still, you had to have a strategy, avoid assault and battery. You'll be another photo on a tree, what a tragedy. False prophets wanna be the monarchy of Kingsbury. I seen them till his knees went and knees them. Garage boys in their Armani, they got the fittest girls popping pills. Man was a Gallus in Dollis Hill, and everywhere you look, it's people trying to survive. Turn a pound into 5, putting Kensal on the rise. Get that GBP till we're earning, how you mean? My Wembley man synonymous with Sterling like Raheem. And no, it weren't a dream, these same streets made us to get the house prices up, they're trying to erase us. Don't see us, don't see us, don't see us, don't see us, but we're still here. Don't see us, don't see us, don't see us, don't see us, but we're still here. You don't see us. All in the gutter looking up at the stars, forever chasing them. Mixed race Mongols make a mockery of racism. We never had a word for multicultural, we lived it, grafted. Immigrants putting a shift in. We weren't all shot in food in the trap on the news. The stereotypes become facts you want to prove. When some of us are shopkeepers, doctors and nurses, nannies to your babies, drivers of your hearses, mental health workers, welders, pharmacists, retail, TFL, builders, architects. Can't forget the rest who entertain you with a passion. Sport, music, high culture, high fashion. Where you get your slang from, we're onto something new now. Know you wanna move in as long as we move out. How they swing it, making working class a dirty word. We're still here with the greatest stories never heard. Don't see us, don't see us, don't see us, don't see us, but we're still here. Don't see us, don't see us, don't see us.
I like that. I like that a lot.
But we're still here.
Okay, that was Sorry, We're Still Here by Doc Brown and Tony Bones from the album Do More, Say Less. That might be my favorite song I've heard thus far this night. Really, really like that. I thought the gloss of the production, especially balanced the little bit more texture in that groove, was excellent. I thought his rapping was really effective. It was really focused. The hook really came together. And his discussion around very UK-centric gentrification was really effective. He builds that well. Starts off with a little bit more of a personal narrative to start off, and then grows from there to highlight humanity. I think that was really effective. Definitely a very low-key song, but I think it was effective for what it was trying to do. So yeah, all the recommendations. That was great. Absolutely would want to hear more of that. Yeah, really, really nice. Okay, let's keep moving here. Next up, we have a live album. Skip that. New EP. This is from a Berlin singer-songwriter, Johanna Emil. It's from the Horizon EP. The song is called Tide. I don't know what this is. Let's give it a shot. Gets black and white again on the back here. Why do I feel like I've heard this? It's trap, but it's not like overstated. I'm not sure I would call it trap either. Like, there's no triplet, really.
We don't want to talk about anything. The ocean is plastic, the soil sinks deep. We don't want to talk about anything. We don't want to talk. We don't want to talk. We don't want to talk about anything until the end of the world is officially canceled.
Wow. Okay. That was a bit of a surprise how that came together. Nice bass. 1, 2, 3, and.
Trembling wave is rising. The ocean is dark at the horizon. Trembling wave is rising. The ocean is dark at the horizon.
The funny thing is that this entire song is about the environment. It's like called a We Live in a Society bit, but it's the whole song. All right, that was pretty short. That was from Johanna Emil from the Horizon EP. The song is called Tide. It's very literally about climate change and plastic pollution. So is it trying to be a little pithy and too cute with how it said it? Probably. But I still think it was pretty good. I think the piano tone was well done. I think her voice was really well presented with the very tight multi-tracking there. And the groove was certainly manifesting. Like, again, it did feel a little nostalgic. It felt like something that would have come out... tough to gauge, honestly. Maybe mid-2010s? Like, it felt very minimalist and spare. The sort of song that would be very much of... I'm trying to make a point with this style. And very, like, using what materials you have. But again, like, it was an effective little pop song. I'm not sure it has a bit of a makes you think vibe to it, but that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It was fine. Yeah, it certainly was effective in what it was doing. Like, again, it didn't have Dido's power. It didn't have her grace. It doesn't have her presence. It felt a little small, honestly. I will say that. Yeah. All right, let's keep moving. We only have 3 songs left before we're calling it a night, which is good, according to my schedule. Thank God. All right, we got some drum and bass coming up next. This is from Fox. The album's called Voyage to the World. The song is called Fox Lensman Golly. It's going to go, it might bang pretty hard here. Let's give it a proper listen. Pretty stock drum and bass line, but don't dislike it.
More than diamonds, more than gold. Time we share is special.
The funny thing, Noah, is that Songs from the Underground was pulling from that UK dance scene in the late 90s, so you're not wrong. You're not even wrong.
I just wanna tell ya. Some days heat and some days cold.
I don't know if Lensman's vocals really work for me here, though.
Matter what the future holds. Glad we grow together. Yes I do, yeah. Yes I do. Moving through and it's cool, yeah. Hey, yeah. Yes I do, yeah.
I think it's the processing.
Yes I do, yeah. Rolling through and it's cool. Don't be when we chillin' pan a corner. I fling couple dub inna the dance, yeah. Over bun and a sip of fire water. And we are
Bit of a dance hall kick here.
And if it's not about love, about laughter, really happy as you, bridging what it's all for. If you're there when I'm going through my drama, what more could I ask for? Yes I do, yeah. Yes I do. Moving through and it's cool, yeah. Hey, yeah. Yes I do, yeah. Yes I do, yeah. Rolling through and it's cool.
I feel like this needs to do a little more, honestly. It's a good vibe, but like... I like the percussion. I like the sort of drum and bass.
Some days heat and some days cold. Every day is pressure. Matter what the future holds. Glad we grow together. Yes I do, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Hey, yeah. Yes I do, yeah.
Yeah, it's alright. Good warble to it, like good melodic, like almost a little faux dubstep, like post dubstep vibes. Especially given how many like little subtle inversions they have. Two, three, four, one. Alright, that song was Golly from the producer Fox, featuring vocals from Lensman. The album was called The Way to the World. No, it's EP. I gotta be honest, like, in terms of drum and bass, I was, like, the texture was there. I think the percussion was there. I honestly think the melody was largely there, but it felt very underwhelming with the vocals. Like, I feel like it should have, again, pleasant, but did it go above and beyond? Did it do anything that was all that special? No. I feel like it set a vibe. Like, again, a nice vibe. Maybe ran a little long. I can kind of see that. I think we were expecting like one good melodic shift, and we didn't really get it, which is kind of a shame. Again, this is an EP. I get the feeling the production, apparently each of these other songs has different singers. That might be the weakest of them. You don't know. One thing I will also say is that apparently, well, again, it's an EP, and apparently that song was considered an ode to friendship. I did not get that through the lyrics at all. Like, it felt very stilted. I wasn't really grabbed by it, and I just can't say I was as impressed. All right, let's keep going. We got 2 songs left before we finish things off for tonight. First off, we got more electronic music. I guess that's what we're doing tonight. This is from The Magician, a journey of musical wizardry cast for an interstellar dance floor. That could be fun. The song is called Knights of Heaven. Okay, this could be bombastic. This could be a lot of fun. Please be good. Please be good. All right, let's get the lights to something that's kind of ethereal. There we go. Oh, that's pretty. One and two. Yeah, I can imagine these guys being behind years and years. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, this is some disco cheese. I love it. This is so cheesy. That's a jam. Good foundation. The melody's doing a lot. This guy looks exactly what you think he would look like, by the way. I saw a picture of the artist. Okay. How they stick the change up is going to dictate how I judge the song. Building well. Okay, we're close here. Please stick the landing. Stick the landing. Ooh! Yeah, that's what I want to hear. Listen, I did not expect that to be that good. That was a lot of fun. All right. That was Knights of Heaven from the album Voyage by The Magician. That was immensely pleasurable. That was very entertaining. I loved how well-defined the synth bass was in terms of driving the groove. I loved those glittery synths on top. That was entirely very much when it was... It knew exactly what it was. it wasn't going to do anything that was over the top or take a big risk. I feel like that's kind of like it topped out at being very, very fun and sticking the landing with competence, but I'm not sure it did anything that went above and beyond. That kind of like, yeah, it was fun. Like, I certainly would not complain. Like, if the rest of the album sounds like that, be like, sure, it'd be really, really nice. Again, I feel like that sort of competency in production, especially synth pop production, is rare. So again, if you guys are highlighting that this guy may have worked with years and years at some point, that makes a lot of sense. But again, that was really, really cool. That was pleasant. Like, this guy could produce a lot more synth pop for a lot of other people. Let's make sure that happens. All right. Last song of the night, folks. Last song of the night, which couldn't come at a better time. Somehow we're not being killed. And we're ending on some grunge. We're ending on some rock music. This is from Aderin. Aderin? It may be Aderin. The album's called Forever Ever. Aderin's Forever Ever. And the song is called, oh God. Okay. The song is called Hangxiety. This might suck. Fingers crossed. It's only 2 minutes long, just over 2 minutes. Let's give it a shot. I wouldn't either. A little more Riot Girl, I would agree. Not fast enough to be Riot Girl, though. Okay, that was Hangxiety from the album Forever Ever by Aderin. Okay, so a little bit of confusion surrounding the genre. This is bubble grunge, where basically you take grunge elements in terms of the grunge rock, some of the nastier distortion, some of the chunkier guitars, some of the kind of reverb down, like detuned elements, and then you pair it with those very girlish, chirpy vocals. It's one reason the comparison that immediately came to my mind is Echo Astral, because you have some of that similar punk edge to it as well, because the pacing was more punk. I wouldn't call it Riot Girl, because Riot Girl was faster, but I can see the DNA, which is all very, very 90s. The lyrics were a lot. I don't always feel like the vocals were accentuated well. I feel like a lot of the filters around it, like, this could have afforded to be a little bit more raw, and I think it would have landed more effectively. But again, part of that is the bubblegum component of it, although that is entirely ironic, as you can very clearly tell. Yeah, it was good. Like, I wish I had the lyrics in front of me. Again, an album, a song that calls itself Hangxiety definitely has a certain edge to it. But again, yeah, like, I get what it's trying to do. I don't dislike it. I feel like it was interesting. For a 3-song EP, it's probably could do a lot more. So I don't know. Maybe it'll show up. Maybe we'll see it more of some traction, because I get a feeling that sound is very poised to break in and do more. Because again, I've been hearing creaks around that, especially in the independent scene for the past couple of, well, really the past year. We might see more of that coming up pretty soon. But anyway, that is the end of Bandwidth tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you all would like to like and subscribe if you haven't already, that'd be greatly appreciated. Also, I want to highlight again, Bandwidth runs normally starting 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday nights. Again, it had to start a little early tonight because I have a hard cutoff in, well, I got something else I got to get to in 15 minutes, so it'll be as it'll be. Beyond that, this was a bit of an odd session. We had that excruciating ambient piece early on. Thank you all for sticking around for that. That was, again, excruciating. But it mellowed out significantly after that. I think we got a pretty good spread. Wouldn't say there was that many that went truly over the top that I really, really loved, but there weren't a lot of bad, like outside of the excruciating ambient song, there wasn't a lot of bad stuff either. Like, I always hear a lot of good ideas across all of that, and that's what I appreciate. And again, we got through a session. It did not get killed by YouTube. Massive fingers crossed that happens again. But again, thank you all so much for watching. And again, YouTube memberships are available. And if you want to get access to emotes or would normally my schedule, but also Discord access for the highest tier. And we'll see how things go from there. As always, I'm Mark. You're watching Bandwidth on Spectrum Pulse.